As promised in my last video, I'll focus on masterboards for this video, and since I've been a bit slow with uploading videos recently, basically due to health issues and just dealing with life, I thought I'd make this video a two-in-one, so I will show you how I make my masterboards and how I turn them into a journal cover. I know there's been many tutorial requests. I am currently working my way through all of them. So thank you for your patience in my periods of absence. I really appreciate you. Welcome back. I'm Veronica and this is Timeless Treasures. Today I'll show you how I like to make my masterboards, and I will be doing it directly onto these packaging boxes, and I'll be creating a journal cover. So go ahead and grab some of those packaging boxes, little soap boxes, medicine boxes, anything you can find, and also grab your box of paper scraps and let's get creative. I start by cutting open this packaging box. It's easiest to find the side where it is connected or glued and then cut down on that edge. Then I start cutting away all the excess sides. Once that is done, I make sure all the edges are completely straight, and I also make sure that the front and the back of the journal cover are equally sized. Then I fold back and forth on the existing score lines to make sure the journal cover will open and close properly. Now the fun can begin, but make sure you protect your table because this can get quite messy. I'm using some normal PVA or white glue mixed with water, and I'm going to apply this glue to the paper scraps with a regular soft paintbrush. Now I have to admit that I don't make my masterboards like most people do. I don't just glue down any piece in whichever way. I do give it some careful thought. And the reason is mainly because I want to reach a nice looking piece, a cohesive piece with some interesting contrast, but you do whatever works for you. I also don't ink all the edges of my paper scraps, but if there's a piece that I want to stand out against the background, I do ink this. Here you can see how I keep auditioning the piece where I want to put it down before I actually glue it down, and that is me kind of overthinking and making sure that I put the piece there that I really want. From here on, I just keep auditioning pieces and gluing them down, making sure all pieces overlap and there's none of the background showing through. Also, when I glue on the edge, I make sure that there's an overlap, which I can fold over to the inside of the journal cover to create a nice edge. And this is where I realized that I wanted this piece to be on the top, so I'm just carefully pulling away. Luckily, the glue was still wet. As I glue down the pieces, I make sure that none of them are aligned, like the edge of the previous piece shouldn't align with the piece I'm gluing down now. And the reason for this is basically just because I'm looking for that staggered patchwork kind of look. I don't want anything to be aligned, and it just creates more interest. But to be honest, there is no right or wrong way to do a masterboard. You do whatever works for you. It is basically just gluing down of scrap pieces of paper. This is just my method. These corner pieces I treat exactly the same way I would any journal cover. I snip away the corner at an angle and then just fold back to create a nice corner. When I get to the spine area, I make sure that the pieces I glue down overlap far enough over the folds of the spine so that there's nothing sitting just on the edge, which might cause problems later on by cracking open or tearing off. So those are your basic guidelines to make a masterboard, especially on these packaging boxes if you want to create a journal cover. So I will fast play the rest of this video where I just continue gluing down scrap pieces of paper to complete my journal cover. When I'm done completely covering the background, I check for areas that look dull and need more contrast or interest, and then I just glue some more paper scraps on top. Once I'm completely satisfied with my masterboard, I cover the entire thing with matte medium. You can also use regular PVA glue. This ensures that all edges are completely glued down, and it also ensures nothing comes undone later on. Now I set it aside until it's completely dry before I start folding it into my journal cover. Here are some of my masterboard journal covers that's already completely dry. You can see how easy they fold and what a cute journal cover this makes. Do keep in mind they will warp and bend a bit. This is due to the wetness of the glue and the matte medium, but you can just kind of bend them back into shape or put them under a stack of heavy books for a day and it should be perfect. In my next video, I'll show you how to cover the inside and we'll make the signatures and complete this tiny journal. So I'll see you then. Thank you for watching.